guys smell that out there?
Sorry.
No, hey, no, it's not your stinking neighbor. Trust me, that's love in the air right here on the OH.Report video podcast. Hey, happy Valentine's Day, everybody. Welcome into the program. Hopefully Cupid shoots you with his bow at some point in the day. I know he already has for me, looking at all you beautiful audience members out there, and got some good-looking guys hanging out with me today as well. We're going to chop some things up like we always do. A lot of topics on hand, even got some special guests in the building. We'll get to them in just a second, but first, let's meet the squad, including first. How about Garrett, G-Spot, Parlette? What's up, baby? How you doing?
What's up, fellas? Back from Vegas. Heck of a trip. But ready to get back to work. Back here at the OH. Can't wait to be back.
Well, we're happy to have you back, G, dressed in red. So he came prepared for Valentine's Day. Also, we got Travis, Teddy Bear Berardi, and Hayden, the Love Maiden Gray. What's up, guys?
A little bit richer. You and I ski after last night's
Ka-ching!
Super Bowl victory for the LA Rams, and who said that a couple weeks ago? The Rams were going to win. I forget who. Me? Yeah.
Yeah. We kind of saw this coming, didn't we?
Yeah.
Let's go ahead. Let's start there then. Let's talk about the Super Bowl yesterday. Awesome game all the way around from start to finish. I think the event kind of set off by The Rock. The pregame was great. The halftime, a lot of people I saw on social media were applauding it as maybe the best one that they've seen. I got up out of my seat. I was dancing. I had a good time. So overall, let's just go ahead, put a bow on it, unpack it for me. G, we'll let you start. Give me your overall take on the Super Bowl yesterday and what you got out of it.
Well, I think it was fun to see somebody other than Brady win, and Brady is just it's kind of a new bow to put on it, really, to be honest. It was just great to see two guys who are very likable in Stafford and Burrow and going at it head-to-head. And personally, my favorite halftime show since I've been watching the Super Bowl, because I actually knew the songs. I usually don't. I usually don't even really know the performer. But it's a very entertaining game, to say the least. Really nothing to complain about. The only thing I would kind of have an issue with is the way the refs kind of changed the way they called the game on that final drive from the Rams. They kind of got a little nitpicky there at the end. I think the one was a hold on Cup, I think, where he ran that out route in the end zone. But they called that one on Logan Wilson, which I think the Rams might have got away with. But I think the Rams, in the end, were the better player, and they had the best player on the field in Aaron Donald.
All right, Hayden, do you share some similar sentiment? What do you think overall about the big game yesterday?
Yeah, I thought it was a good game. I know we talked a little bit about the officiating, just how that kind of impacts the end of the game, but I thought it checked my boxes. I mean, it was a close game. It was competitive. Neither side ever had a lead where you felt like I can go ahead and tune out or would make you want to lose interest. If it's on, I'm going to watch anyway, but I thought that it was very competitive. Both teams had leads. Both teams had to make a little bit of a fight, and ultimately I don't have anything. You know, Garrett and I were talking, when you don't have a dog in the fight, sometimes it's a little bit more enjoyable to watch. I mean, of course, we'd rather see our teams in it, but it just made it very relaxing, and it was good to just watch a competitive football game.
That was the hard part for me being a Browns fan. I wanted to pull for the Bengals, and then ultimately I was unable to. Once the game started and actually kicked off, I thought I was going to be able to be like, hey, Joe Burrow, this is cool, Ohio kid. Nah, didn't happen at all for me during the game. I put my money on the Rams, and Travis, you had 30 bets going on yesterday all over the Super Bowl. For you, the watching was probably a little bit different than your standard dude.
It was fun. Came out ahead just like you. Got some money. And did I not say, 3 weeks ago the Rams were going to win because they have a stacked lineup, and what did they do? They won the Super Bowl. MVP Cooper Kupp looked like an MVP out there. Aaron Donald completely dominated. He won it in that game. He got called out, and he just completely shut down the Bungles. They're the Bungles again because they just lost the big game and couldn't come out and put it away in the end. But great game. Halftime show, outstanding. The commercials, meh. They're not like they used to be. They're not like they used to be. Funny and stuff like that. It's just that might be the only bad thing about it. There's crying Bengal.
Oh yeah, I do love that. And I'll tell you what, I honestly felt like after I thought about it after the game that the Bengals kind of blew it. Mm-hmm. They had the 7-point lead. They had the football in the third quarter. They didn't score another point again the rest of the game. So they proved that they belonged on the big stage, but they didn't have what it takes to beat all these all-stars. There's too many good players for the Rams. That's why we thought they were going to win the Super Bowl. I mean, look at this lineup, dude. It's an all-pro team. It's unbelievable. So I don't think there were any surprises in terms of the outcome. I was a little bit shocked, though, to see the Bengals put themselves in the position that they did, but I kind of thought that they melted down. I thought that Joe Burrow wasn't as cool as we all thought that he was. He didn't make any big plays at the end of the game. No points for the Bengals after 10 minutes left in the third quarter. So I think that collectively Bengals fans got to be a little bit disappointed in that.
And they did it. OBJ goes out. Turns out to be a torn ACL, and you think, okay, now the Bengals might have a little bit of momentum because one of the big playmakers so far is out of the game. But, Stafford got the ball to Kupp when it needed to be given the Kupp.
Which should be every play. I don't know how he only had 8 receptions.
Well, he was double-teamed most of the time, but even you saw on that last drive from the Rams, he beat those double teams, and then that catch in the end zone. Well, the 2 catches in the end zone on the last drive were just
I love that
outstanding.
Full screen right there. You know what? I heard lots of debates today. I watched ESPN this morning to kick off my my Valentine's Day, and all the talk about Aaron Donald should have been MVP. I don't know. I think maybe Hayden said, too, that he agreed. Cooper Kupp was the most outstanding player in the game. He was the best on the football field. I thought, period. I didn't think there was any debate. But you think maybe Donald caught your eye, though?
I think there's space for debate. I think that collectively for the whole game overall, start to finish, Kupp definitely had a performance deserving of it, and I think it did go to the right guy. And that's what it should be based on. It should be based on your performance the entire game. I just like that Donald, he made a play that, like I was talking with Garrett, I mean, it was the 3rd and 2 where Cincinnati's running the ball. If you fall forward, most guys and most defensive linemen, I don't know, they're going to fall back or at least stalemate you, but you might have a chance of getting that if you extend the ball. He was getting blocked and just sticks an arm out, just pushes him back, doesn't let him fall down for the first down, and I thought that was a really decisive play that allowed then what we said, though, for Cooper Kupp to get a chance to go out in there and shine and do what he did. So I think that there was, honestly, there was a couple guys who could have won it, and I think it's better when there are a few guys when they actually have to pick, but I think that Kupp's definitely deserving with the year that he had. I think they're a good team, and there's not really too many guys on that team that you can hate either. I think just everyone in it was kind of likable. There wasn't really too many guys you're like, I don't want to see him, X person win or this person win. Like we said, it's nice not to see Brady win, but I don't think we had a problem with if any way this would have ended any guy winning. But I do have one thing. I don't think Bengals fans honestly would be disappointed. They haven't won a playoff game in 30-plus years. To make it to the Super Bowl, I mean, they want to win, but I don't think they're disappointed.
Sure. You know what? I'm going to go ahead and I'll back you up on that, man, because as a Browns fan, we won 1 playoff game last year, and I felt like it was, whoa, what did we just accomplish here? So, Super Bowl's in the books, NFL season over. Besides the Combine, there's not a lot to look forward to in terms of football, which is king in America. Duh, we all know that. Everybody here, including, I think, a lot of girls will watch football. They don't even understand it just because it's on and it's America. That's what we do. But now that we're flipping the script on that, we're all big sports fans. Travis, where are you going to start directing your attention? What are you going to focus on now and really dive into in the sports world? Oh.
First off, right here. Got another week of the Olympics.
Yep.
U.S. men's hockey team undefeated, 3-0. They'll be playing in the tournament round. The women as well in the semifinals. But I'll be watching the Olympics, and then after that, basketball. I'm not a huge NBA fan. I've said it before, but baseball, it's just screwing themselves over by not even having a season. It looks like because the CBA and everything. They're losing fans by the minute. I don't think they're going to start on time. So we'll go to basketball. College basketball, March Madness is right around the corner. Just be watching that. And the Cavs, they're a fun team right now. So too bad we can't watch it because they're not on any of our networks. But we'll try and catch them on prime time sometime.
Yeah, and I know, Hayden, we're going to be watching the Cavs right now.
Yeah, for sure. I think that I give basketball, I am a bit more into basketball. I feel like I kind of give it the back burner. I don't give it my full undivided attention one football season, one college football, and even high school. And we're doing all that. My mind likes, it's not good at too much multitasking my sports viewing. So I definitely have time now that football's over for a while to give basketball undivided attention. The Cavaliers obviously have been exciting all season long. And it just keeps getting better. It's exciting to see that we can put a team together that has great chemistry together now. They're playing well, and it's entertaining television, so they'll probably get my undivided attention. And then I feel like I need to do a better job I feel like I haven't been educated on college basketball this year. We tend to not really talk about it too much on here, and yeah, like we said, we're almost to March in a couple weeks, so we all got to get up to speed for March Madness, so I will definitely try and devote some time to that too.
That's what I'm going to be doing, for sure. The Cavs are there, and the hot start for them, it had my curiosity. Now they've got my attention. I'm going to start really focusing on the Cavs and seeing if they're going to be a team that's going to be worth, when they get into the postseason, Do they really have a chance this year? I guess is what I'm saying. I want to put a little bit more of an eye on them, but also the college game. I don't even know who's ranked in the top 25. My beloved Carolina Tar Heels. I haven't watched them one time this year, and my wife's in the building. Like, that used to be my do or die. I would make sure that I watched every single game, whether it was on TiVo back in the day or whatever it was. I haven't paid attention at all. I don't know who's good. I don't know any of the stars. I'm gonna get up to speed on that because when March Madness comes around, I'm told there's a lot of parity in college basketball this year. I want to make sure that my bracket doesn't get busted in the first day.
And I think the Buckeyes are doing real well this year.
Buckeyes are legit.
I'm pretty sure.
Well, I don't actually know.
I don't know, but
I'm not going to lie. That's my one.
That's
some of our flaws. We don't know as much about college basketball as we think.
All right. And G-Man, I know that you're going to be lassoing your hopes and dreams onto a superstar in the regular season, right?
I'm going to be watching my favorite NBA team, the Bulls, obviously current number 2 seed in the East right now, right behind the Heat, 1 game back. But this is my least favorite time of the year when the NFL ends and then there's that gap from the NBA regular season to the postseason. I'll keep my eye on some free agency in the NFL draft, but I'll definitely be watching the Bulls. DeMar DeRozan named Eastern Conference Player of the Week, averaging 36 a game. I know not a lot of you guys like him, but I'm just going to read off a few stats. His last couple of games, he had 38, 35, 36, 38, 45, and 31. So
these are all regular season games, right?
Yeah, but okay. I mean, I got to base it off that right now because there's no postseason play going on. So I mean, I don't really have anything else to look off of. So I'll be watching the Bulls, but NFL still got my heart. I'll be watching the draft and the NFL regular season. So come back soon, NFL, please.
Where's Kirk going?
He's gonna be a Minnesota Viking.
Okay,
firmly believe.
Okay. So we're going to start focusing on basketball a little bit. And right here in the great Buckeye State, the OHSAA just announced, and we got a lot of great feedback, that there is going to be girls wrestling as an official sport starting in 2022. So we got some guests with us who are excited about it as well. We got a couple of coaches, Brock McGee, Jeremiah Dowk, and their kids, I presume, Sloan McGee and Caden Dowk, a couple of wrestlers, are here in the building with us. So first off, guys, thank you for joining us. And my first question is going to be for Caden, who is the young lady in here. She is in 6th grade. When you heard that the state of Ohio was going to have wrestling as a real legit sport for girls, I guess how did that make you feel, knowing that they're putting a spotlight on it and they're going to give you guys an opportunity to have your own thing? Okay. Jeremiah, you got a club team going on right now over in Clear Fork, and you said that you've had some great turnout so far for some practices. So tell me, what do you got going on right now out in the Valley?
Right now, we've teamed up with the Clear Fork Elite Wrestling Club out of obviously Clear Fork. The coaches for the Suicide Squad Girls Wrestling Club are myself and Brian and Jesse Frank, which Jesse Frank is kind of the headstone of the program, obviously being a woman. She was wrestled for Team USA. She was the first girl in Ohio to win a match at districts from Northmore. So she's got a lot of knowledge in and around the sport. Brian Frank, he wrestled at University of Cumberland. He's from Indiana, has a lot of experience. Myself, I've 40 years in the wrestling game, so we're just really excited to bring this club and this new adventure to North Central Ohio, because the closest clubs for girls is Columbus or Cleveland. So we really kind of have a nice little mecca of wrestling here in this area, and we just want to branch that out and offer it to the girls. Girls wrestling in the United States is the fastest growing sport, and we think with the backing of Clear Fork and the foundation and Brock, that we really have a dynamite chance to put an awesome program out there that can compete with anybody in the state.
Yeah, Brock, talk about some of the difficulties and challenges for girls in the past that were having to compete in what's been a male-driven sport. What are some of the problems that you feel like are going to be alleviated now that OHSAA has put the wheels in motion here on this?
Well, for one is, just the obvious barrier between men and female. It's uncomfortable for men to wrestle women sometimes. It's also uncomfortable for women to wrestle men sometimes. Women mature at a very different rate than guys do, and when you get in high school, just the physical nature of wrestling kind of puts girls at a disadvantage, I would say, a little bit, just because it is a physical sport, and competing on a level playing field is definitely excellent for the sport.
Sloan, have you had to wrestle a female before?
Yeah, I have.
And talk to me about it. Do you feel like it was a little bit uncomfortable? Did you have to wrestle a little bit differently, at least in your mind?
Yeah, it was very awkward. Like I want to be like a gentleman when I wrestle him because I don't want to hurt him, and it's just very awkward. I don't like doing it. Not be rude, but I don't.
And I'm sure almost all boys share the same sentiment, and I'm sure the girls too. Even though Kaden was telling me that she'll wrestle a little bit harder against the boys, she probably would just rather go against girls if she had the opportunity. So we do appreciate you being a gentleman, though, and when you get into competition. All right, boys, what are the questions you have? G-Man, go ahead.
This is for either one of the coaches. How much does being able to connect with an athlete or your wrestler mean to the culture or in your chemistry to a club?
Could you repeat that?
I'm sorry. Say it, I got you. How much does being able to connect to an athlete mean to the chemistry and the culture of a club?
Oh, that's huge. We have a huge coaching staff. We probably have 7-8 different coaches that are around, and each one identifies different with the individual. So each coach probably has, 10 to 12 kids that they identify with, and they'll follow them, track them around, watch kids that they're wrestling. It becomes a very personal relationship with the child and their parents. You spend a lot of time with them. You get to know them. You get to know their weaknesses, their strengths, and you get to put them in the best positions to win and succeed.
And either of you coaches could answer this one as well, but what would you tell anyone like in the area youth who might be watching this today or hear about what's going on here in the area? What would you tell them if their child's thinking about wrestling, like to encourage them to just try it out if they're curious about it or scared to try it? What would be some words of wisdom?
I'll take this one if you don't mind. Wrestling is one of the hardest things you will ever do. If you can succeed in that, you can succeed in almost anything. There's a famous quote from Dan Gable, one of the sports icons. It says, after wrestling, everything else is easy. And there's a lot of truth to that. I am where I am today because of wrestling. I still help out with coaching. I know most of my friends everybody I know that has wrestled can relate to each other, are successful, they have a good work ethic, and it's definitely something that everybody should try, for sure.
Okay. This is for either coach. How long does it typically take to get a successful program just up and running? I know it probably takes a year or two to get everybody in there, but how long does it take to get the program up to the level of other programs that have been established?
So I've been involved with Clear Fork Youth Wrestling for almost 10 years, and we're just now to the point where we're taking it to the next level. Mm-hmm. So would you like to have it happen faster than that? Absolutely, but there's so many moving parts. To make a good wrestler, it takes years, and you got to have people buy in. You got to have time. You got to have money. You got to have people. There's a ton of things that you need to have a successful program, and we finally got all those in line. We never had a full season wrestling room until 3 years ago. Mm-hmm. We had some individuals in our community step up and buy a building, and they donated the part of the building to the wrestling room with the boosters, and now we have a full season wrestling room, and that's kind of really when it kicked into a different gear, is when we were able to get our hands on the kids all year round, and they've been competing on a national circuit now, and it's really done wonders for our program, just having that all season wrestling room that's solely for wrestling.
All right, let's hear from a couple of these athletes that are here in the building now. G, what do you want to know from one of these youngsters?
Well, Coach kind of just hit it on the head, but what's it take to be a wrestler? I know it's kind of different than just any ordinary sport, but what's it take to go in there and just fight basically every single day, and just what's it take to be a wrestler?
It takes confidence and hard work.
There you go, G-Man. Yeah. You just got to get those two things. You can get on her level. It's that simple. Hayden, what do you got?
I would say, and one of you or both of you can answer, but if you ever, it's kind of similar to what I asked your coaches, but if you have friends who are thinking about wrestling or wanting to try it out, what's one thing you would tell them that you think might be able to convince them to come in and just give it a try, whether it's coming to a practice? What would you tell your friends if they wanted to think about it?
A boy or a girl?
Either one.
I'll tell a boy it would make you way better at football. 'Cause, like, all my friends like football, and I think that'll convince them a lot. That's what I'll do.
Yeah.
But, yeah.
How are you going to convince one of your lady friends to get out?
I'll wrestle. I don't know.
Still got to think on that
Yeah.
You want to defer that? All right. I'll pass
Thank
that
you.
one over. All right. How are you going to get your friends out?
To be honest, I don't know. I really don't. It would take a lot of convincing.
Maybe if you just tackle one of them down at lunch, put them in a little headlock or something, and then just like, hey, if you want to know how to get out of this, come to practice.
There you go.
Travis, what do you got for
This is for both athletes. Whoever wants to go first, but what got you into wrestling?
Mostly my older brother. He has been wrestling for most of his life. And I just want to follow his lead.
Okay. And Caden? What got you into wrestling?
Oh, my dad and my uncle. They just, like, my dad and my uncle were obsessed with wrestling in high school. So I'm pretty sure they wanted me to follow in their footsteps. And, yeah.
All right, thanks, guys.
Yeah, thank you guys for coming in. Jeremiah, if you want to take the mic and just let anybody here in the area know, and I guess specifically some young girls, if they're wanting to get involved with your program, what do you guys got going on? Like, when's the next mat time?
Okay, so we are every Tuesday from 6 to 8. We're practicing at the Clear Fork Elite facility. It's at 99 East Street in Belleville. It's basically right across the street from the new elementary school there in Belleville. We're also going to be adding a Saturday practice from 9 to 10:30. It's going to be more of a technique type practice. To kind of just concentrate on some basics and even some higher level stuff to try to get some more one-on-one. And since we've had such a great, presence and turnout, we thought adding a second practice would keep that momentum rolling. And then you can also follow us on our Facebook page. It's Suicide Squad Girls Wrestling. And all of our contact information is on there. My cell phone, the other two coaches, Jesse and Brian Frank's cell phone is on there. You can reach out to us, message us. Parents, if you have any questions, it's the greatest sport in the world to get your kids into. And I know, some parents, were leery about letting their girls come out for wrestling because of having to wrestle with boys. Well, you don't have that problem anymore. We have a full room of girls from kindergarten all the way through high school that are coming in, all ages, all experience levels are welcome. We're there to teach anybody and everybody, and it's a great sport, and we can't the sky's the limit, I believe, for this club and where we're going with wrestling in general in this area.
Yeah, super fantastic what you guys are doing with the Suicide Squad. So any young ladies out there, or boys too, if you're interested in getting involved, maybe you have never wrestled before, definitely that would be the place to get started. Tuesday night's brand new facility out there in Belleville. Thank you guys so much for coming in. I know it's Valentine's Day. Y'all got hot dates tonight, so we'll let you get out of here. Go get fresh.
Thanks, guys.
Appreciate you coming in.
Thanks, guys.
Thank you.
All right, guys. Well, hey, it's tournament time here for
Most wonderful time of the year.
the ladies. Hey, I'm excited. Obviously, sectionals are getting started this week for the girls. So what is the storyline that you are most interested in just for this week? Not big picture or anything, but what do you want to see happen in one of these games, or what are you expecting? Just give me anything, G, for this week. What's got your focus?
Well, I think my big focus from last week was recovering to see that Lucas upset Crestview, a team that I think was coming on strong here at the end of the year. And I know I've seen a couple of you guys on the panel saying that, will Crestview even win one game? I think that was one of yours, Brian.
That's me. I'll get there.
I think that might be a little bit of an overreaction. I think that Lucas, They upset Crestview. Now, I mean, it happens. Saturday, 2:30 game, a little early. You're not used to that little late night game they're typically used to. So I think it's a little bit of overreaction, but I do say this. I like Crestview's matchups when it comes to the lower seeds. Now, when it gets up to the higher seeds, I think they're a little bit too overmatched. They don't have a very high-scoring, really guard. It's just a team-oriented. They score about 10 points a game, every starter on the team. There's not really somebody that they can go to when the going gets tough and you got to find a bucket. They really don't have that kind of player on their roster. So I think they'll win at least let me say it back. At least 1 or 2 games in the tournament. I don't know if I can take them though against a higher seed like Margaretta or even Lakota.
Well, I guess I'll pick it up there since you threw me on the spot now. Hey, first off, I do want to say that I told Travis on the Country Road rankings with Big League a couple of weeks ago, the Lucas Cubs were starting to figure it out, and I felt like they were cold at the beginning of the season. They were lukewarm a little bit midway through. Now they're starting to get the temperature heating up. So wasn't fully shocked to see them go on the road and beat Crestview, a team that had not lost since November yet. But then when I start kind of analyzing, well, what is it going to look like in the tournament when they have to play? Their first game could be against a number 4 seed. That's a tough draw right away. And that team, I'm talking about the Winford Royals, that's got a double-double machine, and Avery McMillan puts up 12 and 10 a game. Their confidence is a little bit shaken right now, G-Man, coming off of a loss when they think they had won 18 in a row. So for me, my question was just, the Cougars, after all that magic, 4 straight Firelands Conference Championship, undefeated in league play, a really weak league, I might add. They had some big-time wins outside of the conference, though. Will they even win a tournament game? That's what I want to see. I'm not picking against them or anything. I'm not saying that they will lose. But for me, that's the storyline that's most interesting. Will a team that had an 18-game win streak not even win once in the tournament end on a 2-game losing streak? That's what I want to see here in a couple of days, and of course, we're going to have that game for you. What's up, Trav? What are you thinking?
Mansfield Senior Clear Fork, they have something to prove, I think. And this is to you, Coach Hudgens, and to you, Coach Sellers. Clear Fork, this is their big chance. They're all in on this season. They already have some big wins against Loudonville, against Cardington. You know, they got beat pretty good to Shelby, but everybody got beat pretty well against the Whippets. Have a loss to Pleasant in triple overtime, but this is the year for them, and I think it's district championship or bust for the Lady Colts, and anything else I think would be a bit of a letdown. So they have something to show, something to prove. This is the best season they've had in quite some time, and they want to go off. They want to at least make it for a 3rd straight showdown with Shelby. But also Mansfield Senior, Coach Javar Hudgens, he's got some playmakers. They had a little bit of a down stretch in their season. I think they've got everything going, and they'll probably have a matchup with Bellevue in a sectional championship, and this is the coming out of the TY Tigers. They're only graduating 1 senior. If they can get it to a sectional or a district semifinal with Clear Fork, they can possibly make a district championship. That's really going to turn some heads and get them some momentum going into next year. So I think those 2 D2 squads, they have something to prove, and they could really turn some heads if they can make a long run this year. Well,
I'm glad you brought up Coach Hudgens, because I want to put him on blast right here on this program. Any of you out there that got Javar in your phone or whatever, hit him with a text and let him know. You promised us a hip-hop rap.
Oh, that's right,
We were ready for it before the Ashland game, and you disappointed, dog. You did not come through. I was going to beatbox for you and everything. So when we show up at that game for Oak Harbor for the pregame interview, VAR, you better have some bars for us, all right? That's all I'm saying. We'll make sure that we have a beat. You just throw it down. Be prepared this time. Hayden, what do you got prepared?
And I don't know how to follow that one. But I'll just say I'm not going to lie. I differ from you, Brian. I was pretty surprised to see Lucas upset Crestview. Nothing against the Lady Cubs, but, Crestview, like we just said, they have been one of the warmest teams around. They haven't lost in quite some time, and I just didn't know the Lucas Cubs had that game in them, but they did. So my kind of storyline is I'm just curious, can the Lady Cubs play spoiler first round in their tournament game? Because sometimes when you get that win over someone that maybe even internally you weren't anticipating beating, and I'm sure Crestview fans didn't expect that one. Sometimes when you get momentum like that and you get your confidence clicking at the right time, you can go and play a first-round spoiler. So I'm going to be watching for that. I won't be at that game or anything, but I'm definitely going to be paying attention to see if the Lady Cubs can get a first-round tourney win, because that's a statement win over Crestview, and they don't have a better win all year long than that one. So.
Well, if you got a Grover, you got a chance.
Yeah,
they don't
you
got
do.
just one. They got two if you count Kathy over on the bench, and I think sometimes Jesse comes over and helps coaching too. So sometimes they even got a 3-pack. I'm giving them a shot. All right, I know a guy who's been taking probably a few shots over the last week. That's right. Our resident 21-year-old just went to Las Vegas for the first time. G-Man just got back a couple of days ago. He's actually looking pretty good. I thought you'd be a little bit more beat up. But I know for sure you got some war stories out there. What was it like on the Strip? It's now story time with G-Man.
Well, I'll start off. I've never flown in an airplane before, so it was my first trip, and it wasn't that bad. I thought it'd be way worse. Really, the only time that I was kind of worried was when you first start up, when you first go straight in the air. It feels like you're literally like flying straight into the air. The landing is kind of scary too when you first.
Well,
hit the
especially
ground.
in Vegas, the landing is crazy.
It's wicked.
But so I got off the airplane. I got we're getting to go to the baggage claim, and I went with the Kissels. Dave Kissel was walking in front of me, and he looks back. And then he keeps walking. Then he looks back again, and I'm like, "What are you looking at?"
What's up, man?
He's like, "I think that's Dave Chappelle." So I'm like, "Dave Chappelle? Dave Chappelle's back there?"
Yeah.
So like, we walk back there, and it's Dave Chappelle. He's just sitting there eating, and we're like, "Are you Dave Chappelle?" And he's like, "Yeah, you guys caught me." And he was like smiling ear to ear, like could not be any happier, just sitting there eating. And we're like, "You mind if we get a picture?" He's like, "Nah. I'm eating, guys." He's like, all right. So that was the first story. I got a couple more though. In-N-Out. I have my thoughts. I've had Shake Shack before, which I think is incredible. In-N-Out is the best burger.
Legit.
In my opinion.
Facts.
Not close.
Facts.
I don't even think it's close. Their fries though, you have to get it with the sauce because their fries are kind of abysmal just by
I
themselves.
think all fries you need sauce with.
Yeah,
That's my opinion.
they're kind of bad. But when they say it's a city that never sleeps, they don't sleep.
Nope.
They
Well,
do
I believe
not.
that's New York City is the city that never sleeps.
Okay, well, listen. Vegas is a
But
city
this one's
that
Story time with G.
okay? Because they don't. Because I'd be waking up at about 6, and they'd still be trifling in. There's still be people on the Strip. Like, they do not sleep at all. The weather is incredible. And, of course, we got to go back to the food. The food was insane. I had these chicken and waffles that were absolutely incredible. They were amazing. They were, like, stacked, like, this high. And then they had this Nashville hot sauce that very spicy. I did not anticipate it to be very hot, but oh man, it was a great trip, and I'll definitely be back. Maybe even this year. I don't know if I can wait that long. If you have not went and you want to go, you need to go. Promise. I trust me. You need to go. It is so much fun. There's some pictures of me and Golden. And,
I think the best part about Las Vegas is that it truly does have something for everybody. Even if you don't care about gambling at all.
Yeah.
Even if you're not interested in
to do.
partaking in the alcohol or whatever, there are so many different shows and nightclubs and just the different events and fun things. I mean, I've been to Las Vegas double-digit times. Hayden has too. There's a lot to see there. There's a lot to do. And In-N-Out. The best part that I like the most is when you go there, if you watch them construct your burger, they cut up all the condiment, or not the condiments, like all the different veggies right in front of you.
Yeah.
So it's as fresh as it can be.
that's what I was telling Colton while we were eating. I was like, dude, this onion is absolutely incredible. I've never had just a raw onion this fresh and so good. Man, it was amazing. And I thought Shake Shack might have them top, but they do not.
No.
In-N-Out is king when it comes to burgers.
Any buffets for you?
I did actually go to Fat Tuesdays.
Oh, yeah.
Yeah, Fat Tuesdays is nice too. So if you go out there, make sure you go to Fat Tuesdays.
Highly recommended. You get the extra little additive in
Yep.
there too. Oh, you got to. Hayden, you got any fun stories that you want to tell from your Vegas trips?
It's been a long time. I've only ever been there when I was in my like middle school and right before high school years when I lived out in Utah for a couple years. But I mean, it's definitely right. I agree. At any time, you could wake up at 3 a.m. or 3 in the afternoon, and it's gonna look almost the same. Just the color of the sky is gonna be different. There truly is an endless amount of things to do. I mean, it's overwhelming, and the food is to die for. I believe I don't remember what the name of the restaurant's called, but up in the Stratosphere they have a revolving restaurant, and I do remember eating in that, and I was blown away by the greatness of the food. But yeah, it's a cool place, and the weather is fantastic.
So the weather is incredible. You stepped off the plane, and I was
Yeah.
like, whew. I can get used to this for
That's
a week,
about
man.
time you're wearing
Yeah.
shorts in the
Right.
right place.
Yeah, I know.
Got them on today. 10 degrees outside. I don't know. Anybody anything to add from Vegas? I know it's story time with G, so I know.
March ski.
In March, yeah. If you're trying to go back, G, in just a few
I don't know
weeks.
if I can make it by March. I lost all my money, so I gotta,
Yeah,
gotta
that
build
can be
back
a
up
problem.
again.
Hey, boss, can you get an advance on this pay?
We'll talk. Well, Valentine's Day, gentlemen, can either be great, can be challenging for some of us guys out there, or, you could maybe just strike up a good date, good conversation with a lady. Lots of different things can happen on Valentine's Day. So, from talking to you guys before the show, maybe none of those great things have happened within this group, but we're going to close up the show with just talking about Valentine's Day. Any special moments that you can remember, Travis?
Nope. Nope. One Valentine's Day went to Skyway East, blew about $120 on food. That was one time. In high school, we really didn't do much with it then. Maybe went to Applebee's or something like that. But yeah, that's right there. That's how I'm going to celebrate my Valentine's Day. Solo. Yeah.
Well, sometimes those can be fun. Yeah. Go out solo, and someone else is probably going to be riding solo, looking for love
time
too.
to get out there.
Never know when it just might bite you. Like I said, Cupid. Sometimes his arrows go a little bit astray.
Not good with the luck and love, man. So,
well, not yet.
Not yet.
What about you, Hayden?
I guess I recalled back to exchanging Valentines at school. I always like to try and find the NBA player Valentines. They had the team logo tattoo on them, and could make some pretty cool Valentines boxes out of shoe boxes. So that was always fun. I think they're still kind of doing that sometimes, but I don't know. I don't have any phenomenal stories. Fiance and I, we love each other dearly, but Valentine's Day isn't too big for us. I'll probably cook for us later or something, but
you don't have any plans already in place?
You have flowers? You get her flowers?
Yeah,
you like to your flowers?
We do flowers and
That's good.
and all that good stuff. Just I don't know, not that old, but we got older minds. I don't know. I'm more about staying in.
Save that money, man. Make a homemade meal. Buy some flowers. Get her some flowers. They always love the flowers.
And for G-Man here, maybe your Valentine's Day story's yet to come.
Yeah. As of right now, still a single independent man. Trying to
Hit
find
that
my way,
line.
but my friend Colton, who I did go to Vegas with, did ask me to go out tonight.
That's all
so
that
I guess I do have a date technically with Mr. Kissel of Kissel's Lawn Care. So
Is Storm
we'll
going to be
see.
jealous?
he'll get over it. He'll have to. I think Colton's paying too because I'm making him pay, even if I don't want to, even if he didn't ask, he's paying.
Now he knows. Well, I actually have many. I'm just going to bring it down to one.
cool
But
over here.
I always viewed Valentine's Day growing up, I truly did, as a day to just take your shot. You know what I mean? Guys can give girls candies or whatever, but if you just go out there, I performed a rap for a girl one time. I did poems. I brought girls stuff. I tried all sorts of different things to try to score dates. Most of them didn't work, but that doesn't matter. As long as you're taking your shot, that is what counts. And for me, my Valentine's Day story, and this was 12 years ago on this very day, I took a young lady who had been dating me for about 2 years to a very romantic place, that being the Cheddar's Casual Cafe, the site of our first date. And I had snuck over to the Casual Cafe before I took said lady on this date, and I gave a great gift to the waiter so she never saw it coming. Brought her over there, we're eating, enjoying ourselves, and then all of a sudden at the end of the meal, the waiter delivers a present to my date. She opens it. It's a box, inside of a box, inside of a box, until she gets to the last box, and it's an empty ring box, to which she's like, what is this? This broke dude's got nothing for me? Nah. Turns out, had a ring in my pocket, dropped down on one knee right there on the Cheddar's floor, proposed to who is now my wife of 5 years, Jory, VP here. You want to come over here, Jory? Come on in,
Jory.
come get in the picture. So, love was made on Valentine's Day. This is our 12-year engagement anniversary.
Yeah.
Look at this. What do you remember about that date?
The food was really good, and yes, you did surprise me, so that was fun. Yeah, it was great.
Yeah.
Thank you.
Yeah. So love in the air. Cupid struck me. I've stuck with it. Yeah. Okay. Well, the last 3 weeks, guys, I personally have had good friends of mine in my close inner circle. I've been basically on an island as one of my very few friends that actually has children until now. This is the third consecutive week where I've had someone who had a baby, and it happened today. Do we have that photo?
Aww.
So, I'll give you the parents' names. This is Grayson and Lori Murray's child. But when you look at the child, it's got on a pink cap. I'll at least give away that it is a girl born just a few hours ago. Go ahead and take some guesses.
Oh.
What do you think this baby is going to be called? What does it look like to you, Hayden? You get the first guess.
Ooh. What's mom and dad's name again? Remind me.
Grayson and Lori are the parents. Good looking kids.
Let's go with something fairly newish. Let's go with Charlotte.
That was mine.
Oh, so two votes for Charlotte.
That was actually mine.
mine.
I got a second one though.
Okay.
You just got
And
two
back
in the
up for Garrett.
I got a list here that I'm looking off of, so I'm technically cheating.
Actually, got more than one.
The most popular kidsnames.com.
Yeah. Top names.
Mia?
Ooh, okay.
So
Good guess.
a Mia and a Charlotte. Travis?
Danielle.
Danielle. All right, let's bring up that baby photo one more time, can we?
Drum
You guys are
roll.
looking at Vera Lynn Murray. It's a Vera. Nice name. I like it.
I like
love
that.
it.
That was
I'm
clever.
not, huh?
That
Pretty
joke.
good.
Nice.
I like that.
you go.
Yeah.
Okay. We got some upcoming games to look at.
We
Is
do.
that happening today?
We
All right. So, hey, first off, congratulations. Grayson and Lori, two of my favorite people. It's the one relationship that I know of where they're like equal levels of funniness. They're both like the two funniest people I know, and then together it's even better. Oh, just love them, and I'm sure that baby's going to be fantastic. The young lady, Diane, that you might have saw in the snow day video with us that we partied with, that's Grayson's grandma.
No.
So that's where she gets it. Okay, or he gets it. You know what I mean. Let's check out the games coming up this week, shall we? Well, today, hey, you're already there if you're watching the OH.Report video podcast. But tomorrow, live and free, you can watch Clear Fork take on the Lucas Cubs. I'm going to be on the call for that one. Should be a good time over at the Cub Cave. It's always a good time at the Cub Cave. And then Ashland at West Holmes. G, you foresee the Arrows clinching a share of the OCC?
Well, this is my first time even seeing Dimbo all year.
Oh, you're
I haven't
in
got
for
to
a
see
treat.
him
You
all
are in
year.
for a treat,
So this
yeah.
is my first one. I'm very excited. So hopefully nothing changes on the schedule and I get to go out there. Hey, they got Dimbo. They got a shot. That's all I'm going to say.
And then Sandusky's going to be at Madison. I believe the Rams are in a little bit of a rough patch. Travis, do they turn it around and get some confidence before tournament arrives?
Well, this will be the first time I get to see Madison in person this season.
lot of firsts this
and
week.
I'm excited to see them and their new head coach and what he's just been able to do. So hopefully I'll get some locker room access behind the scenes with the Madison Rams. But Sandusky, too, haven't seen them yet this year, and they're a pretty darn good team as well. So it'll be a little bit of a scouting before the Division II tournament because Sandusky, right there with Lexington, Clear Fork, I think. Or did they change districts? I don't know. But anyway,
You would know.
looking forward to Sandusky and Madison.
No.
I don't think Sandusky's in their district
I don't
anymore.
think anymore,
I
yeah.
believe that they have transferred out.
Well, anyway, I'm still
They used
looking
to-
forward to seeing Sandusky.
All right, changing over to Wednesday now. Mansfield Christian versus South Central. We just decided today, hey, let's bring that to you live and free. Travis G-Man's going to be on the call for that one. Lady Flames, they've had a lot of success in the Christian tournament. Haven't been as good in the OHSAA tournament. This could be a good opportunity for them as the number 4 seed. And then Hayden, you get to see the number 1 team in the state open up their tournament against Columbian over at Bucyrus. We'll just say that.
Tournament begins.
Let's go. All right. The city game going down on Thursday. This one rescheduled after the snowstorm. So Madison at Mansfield Senior. One of my favorite rivalries in the entire area, and especially now that the Rams are on the climb and the Tigers still in a free fall. I thought that they would have got a win by now during this L streak. Nah, I think they're approaching double digits. So boy, what a time to get a win if it were to be over Madison. And that could springboard them. I think they're a really dangerous underseeded team. Well, not underseeded. They're properly seeded in the tournament, but they could make some noise when they get to play the Shelby Whippets. Looking forward to seeing that one. G-Man, you're going to see Mohawk versus Lucas, and that's the Lady Cub team that you were just talking about. Are they going to get a win? You know, that this is a good opportunity for them. Should be a lot of fun there. And then Mansfield Senior, the team that you put on notice, Travis, taking on Oak Harbor. That one's going to be live and free with Hayden. So, dude, tons of great basketball that day.
Yeah, and I said Mansfield Senior, the girls are, I think, underseeded. So I really hope they prove me right, because I got people from the Sandusky Bay Conference ripping on me because I said their two teams, Vermilion and Norwalk, shouldn't be ahead of Mansfield Senior. So if the Lady Tigers can make it to the district semifinal, it'll make me at least look pretty good, and it'll make, Javar and his squad, like I said, they're on notice. Get yourself to a district semifinal, get yourself to a district final, and you're going to turn a lot of heads, at least in this part of the area, because Mansfield Senior Lady Tiger basketball will be back.
Moving into the Valentine's Day weekend, we got the Freddyburg game. Fredericktown's going to be on the road at Centerburg. Trojans, I believe, have already clinched the KMAC outright, correct?
I believe so, yes.
But Fredericktown's been playing very well of late. Interesting game for sure. And then Mansfield Senior at Ashland. This could be one of those games, if the Arrows get the dub, they could clinch the OCC outright, or Mansfield Senior could play spoiler. That's another really fun one. And then Upper Sandusky at Colonel Crawford. Hayden could see 22-0 in the making for the second straight year for the Eagles. Can't get much better than that, man.
No, and I've already got to witness one team go 22-0 this season. A fun chance to go see on the boys' side if a team can do it, and I don't think there's too much question involved. I mean, Shelby just put a number on Upper, and Colonel Crawford is just as good, if obviously not better than Shelby on the boys' side. So I think that they're going to go 22-0.
You're going to get to see them very Lady Whippets. Probably should be 23-0.
Yeah.
Probably going to go to 24-0. They're going to be playing Galleon in all likelihood at Bucyrus, assuming they move on. And then Clear Fork versus Norwalk is going to be part of a doubleheader. Or Kenton. No?
Yeah. No, I was saying, yeah.
Oh,
the slashes are potentials.
Yeah. So we'll just say that the upper seed could move on. So Norwalk and Kenton are going to be playing against Clear Fork.
Yes.
At Willard. And then the second half of that doubleheader, Bellevue versus either Mansfield Senior or Oak Harbor. Both of those at Willard. Travis and G-Man going to be on the call for that.
Yeah, and I already said I called both those teams out. Clear Fork and Mansfield Senior. They can get wins, get sectional championships. They'll set up a nice district semifinal between those two teams. But, it's Bellevue, Mansfield Senior. That's the big signature win that they can get here in the tournament, is if they can beat Oak Harbor, the 8th seed, and then take care of Bellevue, then they'll set up a pretty good district.
And maybe the most exciting boys game in the entire state of Ohio going down on Saturday. Undefeated, state-ranked Tiffin Calvert will be at undefeated, state-ranked Western Reserve. I've been trading some messages with the Boosters Club today from Western Reserve. Initially, they said, hey, we definitely need you guys in the building for that one. Now they're worried that it might impact ticket sales because Calvert is so far away, so they don't know if they're going to let us come. So you might want to reach out, let them know, hey, live and free is where it's at. We need to be able to watch this contest. We at least need it on wax, on video, so we can go back and watch it for years to come. This should be a heck of a game.
The new number 2 team in Division 3, Western Reserve. Sheldon number 1, Sheldon number 2.
And what's Calvert, like number 3 in the state?
They're number 2 in Division 4. So both number 2s.
So a lot of great games coming up this week on the OH.Report. Like you expected, anything less. Lots to get to. But first, hey, it's Valentine's Day. I know that I got a nice date to get to. Probably just staying at home. Hayden said, cooking tonight.
Depends. It just depends on the hunger level and energy level.
Travis, you going to go searching for love anywhere?
No.
G-Man, you already found yours and margarita and Kissel, right?
Ooh. I got a margarita calling my name, Brian. I got to get going.
All right, we're going to unleash everybody out of here. It's been a great one. Hopefully Cupid finds you sometime today. So long.